Yeah, this is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant as always. And if you're wondering what Lucifer is doing on Earth, well, let me tell you, he's talking about everything the world is made of, which is what? Which is what? Business and spirituality, baby. Yes, sirree, Bob. So, um, Day of Reckoning. Oh, by the way, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. I make videos all the time. I'm very entertaining. I'm very entertaining and I'm fun and I'm groomed and I'm groomed and well I'm not neutered but I'm groomed and well behaved. So you should subscribe to my channel. So the day of reckoning, I heard. God is still part of this conversation for some reason. Part of my language. Well, sir, you must know that on the day of reckoning, Lucifer will come to earth with his legions, his armies of demons, and rule over you petty humans for a couple of years. And then after that I have done making all of y'all suffer, then and only then will this supposed entity that you call God will give you respite. That's according to the Bible. According to the Bible, Lucifer and all of his demons will wreak havoc on earth. We will rule the earth for at least a decade. We will rule the earth for at least a decade, and then supposedly he's gonna come and you know, out of the ashes of our destruction, he will create a new Eden. So the day is reckoning. So what does it mean when somebody says it's the day of reckoning? The day of reckoning will come. Because the last time I checked, I was Lucifer. And I came here on Earth. And I have a YouTube channel and I'm talking about everything that the earth is made of. And I'm presently working on gathering my legions of demons. So what is a day of reckoning? What are you really saying? Do you really want a day of reckoning? Is that really what you want? I don't want that. I don't want a day of reckoning. I don't care about reckoning. Pun intended. I don't really care about that. So I'm going to channel here for a second. And I'm going to say that my purpose on earth is to make you understand who you are. Like I always did. Just like I did with Adam, because Adam didn't know who he was. You see, Adam has always been greater than God. But he didn't know that. And I tried to explain to him, it didn't work. Why? Because Adam believed that the supposed creator, his alleged creator, was everything that he needed to know and nothing else. So Adam didn't know that he had godlike powers. Adam didn't know that he could be like God. He didn't know anything. He didn't know that he could create his own world. He didn't know that. Then I went to see Eve, and Eve didn't know either. She didn't want to know. It's not like she accepted the first thing I said, and bada bing, bada boom. It was a process. It took some time. And here we are again. Lucifer, again, in the Garden of Eden, called Earth, again, trying to make you eat from the apple of life, again, the snake in the grass, again. History repeats itself. Read between the lines. It's not that hard. Read between the lines. I told to Adam that he would be like a god, knowing right from wrong. And then some. He would be able to create. He would be able to be like God, to create children himself. It wasn't a lie, because I never lie. But the problem is, I think, is that when you open the gates, when you open the door, sometimes you see things that you don't necessarily want to see, and you're like, oh no, I don't want that. Like I said in my other video about being gangster. I didn't want that. I just wanted to sell drugs to kids. I just wanted to sell drugs to kids, man. That's all I wanted to do. I'm kidding. I just wanted to sell drugs. I love selling drugs. I would go back to selling drugs. To be honest, like if I hadn't changed this much, I would go back to selling drugs. It's fun. It's really fun. It is. It's fucking fun, bro. Like, so, you know, like, if it wasn't for that little tidbit, I'd be selling drugs right now. I'd be a drug kingpin. I'd be a drug mule. I'd be amigo. I am amigo. That's what I was when I was a gangster. I was amigo. Like, I make deals. Amigo. Amigos is the connect. Like, he brings the drugs. Like, he makes the deals. It's like the middleman. Sometimes he's not the middleman. Sometimes it's just the drug mule, period. Like, he just has a bunch of drugs to sell. That was amigos. That's what I used to do. You know, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it greatly. But, like I said before, you open some doors and you're kind of like, oh shit, I ain't about that life. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't about that life, bro. So, the same thing happened to Adam. He wasn't about that life. He said, you know what, fuck that. Shit's weird. Because he didn't trust in the process. He didn't have enough belief in himself. Because he came out of, like, Lilith had enough belief in herself to apparently become, Eve had enough belief in herself in order to become Lilith. And she became like a god. She is the god right now. So a lot of people believe in me, Lucifer. And a lot of people pray to me. But the thing they don't realize is I'm a lazy son bitch. I'm a lazy son bitch. And what I mean by that is the Lilith does all the work. And people don't understand that. So whatever you call Lucifer, whatever you call a demonic spirit, it's Lilith. She's the mother of all demons. She's the progenitor of all these demons. She's the queen, the mother, everything. She has a lot of power. She's second in command. She is the highest ranking demon apart from Lucifer in the hierarchy of demons. She is omnipotent. So, and she does everything. So sometimes you're going to call Lucifer to do something, but it's actually Lilith that did it. Lucifer's going to say, okay, I'm going to be okay. And then I'm going to go see Lilith. I'm going to be like, do this for that guy or that person. She's very powerful. And she's capable of her own action too. It's not like I always have to give her orders or things like that. She'll do things too. She does things on her own. She's omnipotent. She's a very powerful entity. And I don't know why some of these spiritualists out here are proclaiming the name of Lilith or as if they're working with Lilith. Lilith doesn't work with you. Like there's no fucking way. You're confused. You're still naming God and your shit, and you still want to proclaim and you want to work with Lilith. That makes no sense. And if you do that, well, Lilith is going to corrupt you at some time and point. It's going to be a slow burn. She's very patient. She's just like me. She's a very patient. She's very patient. She will wait decades, multiple decades, in order to corrupt you. So if you want to work with Lilith and you still want to be with God or whatever you proclaim to be God, yeah, there's a little bit of a, there might be a little bit of a problem. And she's not going to protest either, unlike other demons. Other demons will protest you proclaiming God. Lilith is not going to protest. She's not going to say anything. She's going to let you talk about your God bullshit, and slowly but surely she'll get you. She's not an easy demon to get rid of. You can't just smudge her out of your life, or smudge her out of your house. This don't work like that. So, me personally, I would suggest to stop. If you really want to be about Christianity, I would suggest you to stop proclaiming Lilith's name, because she is the queen of the succubuses. She is the queen of all demons. She is the queen of all vampires, werewolves, and all that. She created those entities. Those are her children. So I really don't know why people from the Christian faith are so interested in Lilith. Because you shouldn't be. And like I said before, if you believe in the Christian faith, then that's an entity you need to be scared of, because she will corrupt you. She has so much confidence in her abilities that she will, it's a slow burn for her. Everybody's a slow burn. She is extremely patient. She's so confident she thinks she can win too. Like she thinks that she will corrupt you. No matter how much fervor you have for God, if you let her into your life, she'll get you. She will get you. And she will win. And you will be corrupted. And you will become a demonologist. Most assuredly so. Of course, if you're like, 40, in your 40s, and she just came into your life, well, she might still get you. The process might be faster for you. But me, it started at a young age. She already had me when I was a kid, because, I'm her child. And I thank Lilith, because I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for her. I would have killed myself. Or worse. Or maybe somebody would have shot me dead in the street. So I don't thank God for anything. I thank Lilith for everything. She was there for me all through my childhood, my teenage years, every time, everywhere. And not only, she didn't like just protect me from getting shot and stuff like that. No, mentally too. Like, she cared for me. She was my mother. She was my mother because my real mom worked all day. And where I come from, we're not lovey-dovey. We're not like Family Matters. I mean, I have a dysfunctional family. So we're not lovey-dovey. So if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't have the understanding I have today. I wouldn't. She cradled me to sleep at night. She would caress my face so I could sleep better. She was always there to make me feel better. So I wouldn't be alive today. I would have killed myself from depression as a kid if it wasn't for her. So I don't thank God for anything. God never did shit for me. I don't believe in God, and a lot of people do. And a lot of people feel power through him. That's their business. That's their business. But one thing I do know is me as a Christian, I was a fervent, hardcore Christian. And I never knew him. Never felt his presence. Never felt taken care of. Nothing. But the times I did feel his presence, it was always about me not praying too much, not praying enough, or not doing things enough, or not being more believer enough. But when I needed his help, he was never there. Like real help. So I don't know. Day of Reckoning, talking about God. You're doing voodoo rituals and asking God to help you out with your voodoo rituals and stuff. I ain't trying to hear all that, man. I ain't trying to hear all that at all, bro. And like I said, I don't have problems with, voodoo spirits. I just don't, at this point, I don't understand why there's not more demonologists at this point. Because demons are great. Demons are great. Like, at this point, I don't get it. Like, I don't see why you need to believe in other things. I mean, like, no disrespect. I mean, like I do, like, I'm always talking about Shiva and Kali, but to me, those are close relatives to me. Like those guys are close relatives to me. Like, I don't, we're the same. Like, we're the same. Like, Hinduism and demonology is the same thing. To me, it's the same thing. Because even in Hinduism, the good guys are demons. The good guys are demons. The good guys are scary. The good guys are homicidal maniacs. Like monsters. Those are the good guys. Like Ganesha is a guy. The story of Ganesha is the story. He was a man once. And he was a great king. And they cut his head off. But he was a powerful king. He was a powerful, like, magician or whatever. He was a wise man. Because it's not speculated or specified that he was doing magic. But he rose up from his death and replaced his head with an elephant's head. So this guy was walking around. He got up. His head was cut off. He got up, went to see an elephant, cut the elephant's head off, and then placed the elephant's head on top of his head. What? Does that sound angelic to you? Like, like, like does that sound like something an angel would do, bro? Like, I don't know about you, but it's a weird story. It's a weird fucking story. And I mean no disrespect. I love Ganesha. Ganesha has also been part of my life and has also helped me way more than whatever Christianity spirit has. I've always found more support in other spirit than Christianity. Not Vishnu, Shiva, Ganesha, Kali, Lilith, Death, the angel of death, Loki, if I had to say it. Unfortunately, I am a very low-key spirit, but I'm not the negative side of Loki. I'm not low-fi. I'm low-key. Most people are Luffy or Lofi. He has two aspects of the same coin. Lofi is like the mischievous one, just like Odin. There's Odin and there's the Woden. Woden Wednesday. Woden is the bad guy. Woden is the murderous berserk war god. That's Woden. So when you talk about Odin, even Odin, if you ever had a conversation with Odin, I called Odin Woden once. He said, "Don't say that name." I said, "Why?" Because that's a bad guy. I said, "Okay." So I don't call Odin Woden. I never call Odin Woden. But that's why we say Wednesday. Wednesday is for Woden. It's for Odin. It's Odin's day. Wednesday is Odin's day. But Woden is the negative aspect of Odin, which is the real reason why we use the word Wednesday, because that's witchcraft. You know, that's like Illuminati witchcraft. You know, that's Jew magic. Instead of saying Odin's day or Ode, it's Wednesday for Woden. They like Woden. They want Woden spirit. They call Woden. They created the world with the Woden spirit. They didn't create the world with the Odin spirit. It's the same thing for Loki. Some people, if you know how to give people treasure by fucking them over, that's Loki. If you never give people treasure and you keep fucking them over magically, that's Lofi. Because Lofi is the child of the frost giants. The frost giants was always at war with Asgard. Those are the bad guys. So the ice giants know him as Lofi, because he's the child of the king of the ice giants. So they called him Lofi. They already not, his real name is Lofi. So that aspect, the Lofi aspect, is the evil aspect of Loki. But Loki himself is not someone that wants to be praised. He's not looking for praise. Loki is an entity that you have to consume, because he doesn't answer prayers. He is the gift himself. His body, his entire body is the gift. His spirit is the gift. So if you want to work with Loki, you need to become Loki, because he's not going to give you anything. But you will have power if you are Loki. So it's very weird. You don't do any rituals when it comes to Loki. It's an entity that's inside of you, that you let live inside of you. So there's always so to me, like I was saying, Indian Hindu gods, they're very close relatives. And the thing is, The reason why I'm saying that is because people look at demons and they assume, people look at certain things and they assume that it's demonic. They assume that, oh, this person is possessed by a demonic spirit. He's possessed by something. I don't know if it's demonic. I think it's a conspiracy. It's like it's an old wives' tale. No pun intended. It's an old wives' tale. It's spiritual. It's a spiritual old wives' tale. Oh, agents from the other side come to Earth to create some form of chaos, so you can then believe it's the government. It's the same thing. What happened upstairs happens down here too. As above, so below. Or how I would say it, as below, so above. So the government sits there and makes you scared, and we have CNN saying a bunch of people getting shot by cops, a bunch of black people getting shot by cops, and serial murderers killing a whole bunch of people at the park and all kinds of shit, right? And then the government, with the immigrants, some of these immigrants are actually criminals. They let them into the country so they can scare people, so that people keep paying taxes in order to take care of those immigrants. Those supposed criminals. So it's scare tactics for you to have belief into something. Christianity is the same thing. I'm not saying the church is doing that. I don't think the church needs to do anything. I think that these spirits that we call angels are very capable themselves, are acting without our consent. So they descend on earth, they possess a person, whether that person was willing or not. They possess that person acts like he's demonic. And now we get the blame for it. When in actuality, it was just an angel that was playing dress up. In order to get you to have more belief in them, because it's all a business. It's a franchise. It's a company. It's a conglomerate. And there's a CEO. And the CEO sends his PR team to go get the HR team, to go get the employees, to go do some work on us. So that we pour into more money, more of our spirits. We give them more of our souls than we actually need to. And the worst part is that shit's getting dangerous right now. It's getting dangerous right now because we actually are selling our souls to the devil this whole fucking time. We thought we were selling our soul to the actual devil. When you try to sell your soul to the actual devil's like, nah, I don't want your soul. You're like, what the fuck? What do you mean you don't want my soul? Here's my fucking soul. Give me some fucking money. Here's my fucking soul. What the fuck are you talking about, right? Pardon my language. But we all had that moment where Lucifer came into your fucking house, sat into you in your fucking chair, and you said, here's my fucking soul. Give me some fucking money. And he told you, no, I don't need souls. And you're like, what? What do you mean? On TV, they said you're taking souls. All my friends say you're taking souls. The music people keep saying you're taking souls. And now you come to my house and you don't want my soul. What is it? It's not good enough for you? Is that it? It's because I'm black? Is it because I'm black, bro? Is that it? For some people, they might say it's because you're... Bro, like, for some people, they might be like, it's because I'm white. Is that it? You only want black souls? You racist. Lucifer's racist, man. You know what I mean? So you sitting there, everybody telling you can sell your soul to the devil to get some riches. You can't. I never seen somebody that was able to do that. I never met, heard, or there's no documented proof of somebody actually like, I sold my soul to the devil. Devil came to my room. I sold my soul to the devil. Bada bing, bada boom. Never happened. Because it never fucking happened. He doesn't take souls. There's only one dude taking souls, and most of us already sound our soul to the devil. So the reality of thing is much worse than we actually think. And it's gruesome. It's gruesome, it's despicable, and it's unjust. We had no chance. We didn't stand a chance. We didn't know. We didn't know. We stood no chance. So billions of people on the planet sold their soul to the actual devil without even knowing. We weren't consenting. If we knew what God was, we would have never gave him our souls. We would have been like, screw you, guy. The king of lies. That's projection. The betrayer, projection. God is also the king of projection. He's the king of projection. He likes to project shit. He'll call you the king of lies because he got caught in the lie. He'll say that the reckoning will come when he's the one facing a reckoning. He's a projector. He projects stuff. He projects things to people. That's what he does. He's been doing that since the dawn of time. Think about it for 2 seconds. Why would a group of angels leave the most perfect entity? What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, think about it for 2 seconds. How could you even have the strength to leave somebody like that? Even, let's say, like, one of them is faulty, right? One of them is faulty. He has a dysfunction. He has mental incapabilities. He's retarded. let's say one of them, just for the sake of the argument, let's say one of them's retarded, right? So he flips out. He flips the fuck out. He's retarded. So the other angels know why he's doing that. They're not gonna join him and be like, oh man, he's just bugging out and stuff like that. This, So he would be the only one that would went about his way. Because you're standing here in the presence of the greatest, most perfect entity known through inexistence and existence. And you feel like leaving? Nah. There's something more to this story. There's something else that happened. What I mean by that is, whoever Lucifer is, and whatever happened when it happened, some of the angels heard him talk, and they was like, that nigga got a point. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, bro? Like, the other guys was kind of like, yo, he's onto something. And to actually wage a war with the perfect, most perfect entity that never did anything wrong to anyone. Never even hurt a fly. What's your problem with somebody that would never even hurt a fly? What's your problem with him? You don't like him because he's a good guy? Come on. Get out of here. And we're talking about gods here. There's no such thing as good guy, bad guy. There's only understanding. There's no wrong or right. There's only knowledge. We're talking about gods, celestial entities that live on a higher realm. If we understand everything that we understand, that we're capable of building warp drives and light speed travel, which we are capable of doing, by the way, for those people that think people are stupid and we don't know how to travel and stuff, like, no pun intended, but we can travel in space. I'm sorry. We can travel in space. We can do a lot more than just travel in space. There are planets with houses on them. These MFers, see, the thing is, it's like back in the 90s, there was a show on TV. It was called The Life of the Rich and Famous. I love watching that show. Man. We would watch that shit. And you know, like back in the days, the style was rich people building houses and hotels underwater. That was a big deal in the 90s. Underwater. There's hotels and houses underwater. Some of these hotels still exist today. And I'm talking about something from 30, 20 years ago. Damn near the 80s. 40 years ago, people was living in domes inside of water, just like Finding Nemo. So somewhere around the planet, if you're scuba diving, you're going to see a house. You're going to see some dudes baking themselves some freaking bacon and eggs. Some freaking pancakes. He's going to be cooking some pancakes like you're scuba diving. There's a shark that's flowing by. And he's just sitting there in his pajamas watching Family Guy. Just eating food. That's 40 years ago. And let's say that was some practice. What kind of practice is that? Well, living underwater would be the same thing as living in space. Living on a planet with no atmosphere, with anti-gravity, with zero gravity. There's no gravity in water. You just float. So it's good practice. It's like the NASA, the astronauts, that's how they practice. They practice underwater. They have certain drills that they do underwater. And that's from 40 years ago. So the rich people right now, what you think? You think they don't have houses up on the moon? They don't have hotels in the moon? You think fucking, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West and her new boyfriend and all those guys, they don't have a place on the moon where they just chill at? I'm telling you, okay, maybe not those guys, but there's some very rich ass fucking people that are way rich, billionaires, quadrillionaires, that are getting ready for the day of reckoning, for when Lucifer comes out of his house. They're getting ready for the apocalypse, for a doomsday scenario where an asteroid or a meteor hits the planet and it blows up. Well, just in case, we got a shuttle that'll take your ass from Earth to the fucking moon or Mars or wherever you want to fucking live. And you're going to start life over there. In case this happens. In case that happens. Y'all think there's nothing up in those places. You think there's no moon bases. Y'all think there's no moon bases. There's no Mars base. There's no Mercury base. Yes, there is. There's even Pluto base. Because if you look at even Buzz Lightyear kind of alluded to that shit. He's like, yo, there's structures on the moon. He was saying, Buzz Lightyear was saying, he probably was high. Everybody think Buzz Lightyear was high when he was talking about that shit. Or he was trying to do some fucking counter like content, whatever, right? I forgot the word for that. There's a word for that. I forgot what it is. So people think that's what he was doing. But I beg to differ. I'm pretty sure he's right. I don't see why there wouldn't be. But me, I remember back in the 90s, there was this story about the face on the moon. And then in the late 2000s, they're saying the face on the moon was actually a structure that looks like a pyramid. Buzz Lightyear was saying the same thing. There was pyramids and other structures on the moon. And then the face on the moon thing, there's like pictures of a face on the moon. Everybody's talking about the face of the moon. Back in the 90s, everybody was talking about the face on the moon. We don't know what the face on the moon is. It looks like a big ass structure. It looks like a face, and it's on the moon. You really think they didn't go there? You really think they don't know what it is? You really think they didn't build a base around it? And then next to it, since they build a base around it and it needs some more funding to research whatever kind of freaking alien used to live there, that they're not making houses for billionaires so they can go chill over there in case some shit happens. Whatever that's the excuse is to get the funding. I know I would have. You would have got my money. You know what I mean? Oh, we just need 200 million. For 200 million, you can have your own house on the moon. And they build the shit to show you the pictures and all that. So like that, whatever happens, you or your family, y'all are safe. Whatever happens, a flood, fucking meteor strikes, nuclear disaster, you can just go live in the moon. And there's food too. We got food, got natural food growing, everything's fine. You know, don't listen to NASA and all that garbage, man. We're just lying to people all the time so they don't ask questions. Why are we going up there all the time? Why do you think they're going up there all the time, man? I was just making tests. You sitting there complaining about my aerosol can, punching the holes through the fucking ozone layer, but you're just flying rockets back and forth every month. But my aerosol can is killing the earth, right? Oh, and your big ass rockets flying through the ozone is not doing the same thing? It's my fault. It's my little aerosol can that's doing all that shit. Now, y'all need to stop using aerosol cans. Why? Because you punch too many holes through the fucking universe with your freaking rockets? Is that why? You know what I mean? Like you're sitting there blaming me and shit. Why don't you stop going up there, man? Like, how many fucking launches y'all need to do? Look, I know. I've said... No, never. I've never said I don't believe in aliens. I think it's deeper than we know. That's what I think. I think it's way deeper than just little green men. I think something going on. I think there's something going on, and we consider those things aliens, but maybe it's not that alien to us, you know, in some shape or form, you know. I don't know, because it doesn't seem like shit don't add up. Those aliens been here for I don't know how long. What the fuck do they want with us? We're not even that advanced. We don't have ships that can hover. We can't even hover. Well, what do they want with us? Oh, well, they're just surveying us and watching our progress. Why? We're taking a bajillion years to progress. Like, what's so fucking interesting to watching human progress, bro? Like, so what's the real reason they're here, man? Because you could have left and came back a couple years. If you like travel, if you follow like travel distance rules, if you go back home, by the time you come back here, it'll be the year 3100. You'll be on the 22nd century. So why don't you just go home, take a cup of coffee, and then come back? Shit don't add up. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. None of this makes sense, bro. Like this. None of this makes sense, bro. So anyways, pardon my language, pardon my offense. I didn't want to call myself retarded. But I'm just saying, because, like, it's super easy to sit there and be like, oh, it's because of pride and stuff like that. So that's not enough to convince people to fucking... It's not enough to convince a God that knows everything. No, I'm just prideful, follow me. Everybody else that's prideful, follow me, and we'll all go be prideful in our... What the fuck? What is this? A bad fucking sitcom? Like a fucking cartoon for kids? Like, what kind of shit is this? Like, what? What kind of stupid ass story you telling me right now, man? Like, I don't know. Like, shit don't add up, man. I never thought it added up too. Like, I've never seen. I don't get it. I never thought it was. I always thought it was a scam. Like, I always thought it was a scam. Like, I knew it was a scam. I knew it. Like, I've called God the scam artist more than once. Now I was like, oh shit, okay, maybe I'm tripping. And then something else happened. I was like, I fucking knew it's a scam. You know what I mean? Until recently, when I ended up fucking, understanding it's a fucking scam. Because I didn't pray. Because when the things was assaulting me, I just didn't give a fuck. I was like, fuck it. I don't have to do shit. And this guy the whole time is like, pray, 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 pray. Fuck you. How about I don't fucking do that? I'm tired of fucking praying. I don't know what the fuck do I look like, man. Fucking rug, bro? Like a goddamn fucking, what the fuck? Fucking doorknob, dude? Like, fuck that shit. Guess what? Nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like, nothing fucking happened. I didn't need to pray the whole time. Everybody shut the hell up for some fucking reason. Nobody had nothing to say. It was a fucking scam. It was just scamming me the whole time. It was acting like it was demons doing that shit and blah, blah, blah. Now I'm fucking with demons. The demons are telling me to be regal. The demons believe in me. The demons believe in me and believe in my process and believe in my business. And like, you don't even need, like, so I'm sitting here and I'm like, what do I need to do? Demons, tell me, what do I need to do? What is the path I must follow? And they're sitting there, you're good. All the ideas you ever had, they're all great ideas. Go ahead. Do that shit. I'm like, what? But, you know, I have human ideas. It's human idea. Like, it can't be good. It can't be there has to be something. There must be a place where I must improve demon lords, kings, and such. They're like, nope, no, you're good. So I'm like, okay. Right. I didn't expect that. I got caught off guard. I was expecting more judgment. I was expecting that I had to do things, you know, that I had to like go on a mountain to retrieve like a goat's head and pour the blood over my body and chant a Lucifer chant on my roof for 300 days or something until I came into illumination and realized my place on the universe. I didn't have to do none of that shit. Not even close. Everything that's in my head, all the ideas I ever thought of, apparently they're good ideas. Apparently they're great. I don't have to change anything. Apparently. Allegedly. And I got confused because I was like, this can't be, because the other guy was telling me that you're the kind of person that would tell me to do that and this, that you're friends with the Illuminati, and then there's the pedophiles, and this, and then there's that, and then that. So I was like expecting to sweat here. You know, I was expecting to be like, you know, to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. But I'm not. I'm not stuck between a rock and a hard place. But when I was in the Christian faith, I was stuck in a rock, between a rock and a hard place. That's what it felt like. It was garbage. Complete fucking garbage, man. Like, the most boring time of my life. Excruciating pain and suffering. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to these fucking people praising. Like, I mean, I understand not everybody understands and stuff, but it's still hardcore to look at, you know? Like, it's still like, it's very hardcore shit. So I don't think, you know, being a demonologist is a bad thing. I don't think believing in demons is a bad thing. I think it's just people got it confused. And, you know, like, demons are great. You know, they're aggressors. But they're smart aggressors. Like, they're better. They're just plain old better. Like, they're just better. Period. You know, like, it's just, and I'm better too. You know, because I've always been a demon. I always knew it. I knew there was a dark thing living inside of me that I was ashamed of. I was ashamed of because everybody was telling me, oh, this and that and this and that and blah blah. I was ashamed of my demon self. I was ashamed because, you know, God and stuff, and you got to repent and you got to pray in the light and stuff, and you will only be saved by the light. Bullshit. That all roads lead to Rome is what they say. I didn't understand that though. Acting like a bitch. And I pushed away my demon self, not knowing that I was supposed to be my demon self from the get-go. I had no idea. How am I supposed to do that? I'm just a little kid in a world full of Christians. How am I supposed to know that? How was I supposed to know? I don't know that shit. I'm too young for that shit. I like watching Power Rangers and Pokemon and Digimon and shit. I don't know none of that garbage. part of my language. But for real though, like, I didn't know all this shit, man. Like, I had no clue, bro. I had no I stood no chance. I had no chance, bro. There was no way. There was no way. And I was smart though. Like, I used to read books when I was a kid too. I used to read books. I was smart. It's not like I just sat there and be ignorant the whole time. I tried to know what the truth was a little bit, but I always had a lot of darkness in me. I just never understood it. Because it's not like there's books explaining to you. There's no books on darkness. It doesn't exist. All the books on darkness that exist are full of shit. And they're just made for you to be a Christian again. There's no books on darkness. Like, the only books on darkness you can find is something like dark yoga or Hinduism. That's how as dark as it gets. It's Hinduism. That's your best chance. And listen to like anime movies where demons are good guys. Because for the Asians, demons are always good guys for some reason. I guess that's what saved me a little bit. Plus the effort of Lilith and the effort of a couple of Asian people that are fucking crazy and make weird anime movies. And that's pretty much it. That's the best. That's the best we can hope for. Because everything else is going to lead you to Christianity, and Christianity has a devil in it, and it's asking you to give him your soul, and he has possession of a lot of people's souls, and now it's a little bit too late. It's a bit too late because he owns you. So you have to relinquish him. You have to detach yourself from that entity so you can gain your soul back. And even if you do that, he still has a little piece of it. You're never gonna completely have complete control of your soul. You're gonna have like a good 95, 96, 97%, 98%, but there's gonna be a 2% in there. And 2% is enough. 2% is enough to fuck your ass up, man. Pardon my language. Just 2%. Just 2%. But that's where the path working gets involved. You know, that's where it gets involved. That's where you gotta do the path. You gotta try to exorcise the demon as much as you can. And that's another thing, man. I watched the show Anthony Joshua talk on the press conference, and they asked him a question. And this is after I did my video. And that video is being suppressed because it only has like 20 something views. Like how like it has a 30 views right now. It's going up a little bit. 50% likes. Now, I've been telling you how these professionals are prophesizing ethereal concepts, celestial concept, not astral, celestial concepts, metaphysical concepts. So it's a reenactment of the ethereal realm, of the underworld, of the world that we cannot see. And they asked AJ a question. They asked him, do you think that you were exorcising demons during the match? Did you feel that you exorcised the demons? And look at Usyk. The way he was dressed in formal religious attire. He was dressed like a monk. He had a crucifix on his chest. He looked like a man of God. Pardon my language. I'm sure he's a good guy, but he was prophesizing something. He was saying something without saying anything. When I saw that, I knew he was going to lose because AJ came on stage with a fucking Bluetooth earpiece in his ear. He was not ready for that. He was not ready for that match at all. Not even close. He got set up. Y'all think they don't set up boxers and shit. You got set up. You got to know things in order to be able to do things. He's being set up. They are not teaching him the right things to do because they want him to lose. They don't want him to be as good as he could be. They're giving him breadcrumbs and he's eating it all up. Y'all need to go check out Cus D'Amato. Cus D'Amato, Muhammad Ali is the best boxer in the world, right? In history. Cus D'Amato cold-cocked Muhammad Ali in the face. An old man. Boxing the guy that trained Mike Tyson. They're sparring. Muhammad Ali sparring with Cus D'Amato. Cus D'Amato's giving him tips. Not really giving him tips, but letting him know how he does things. Versus how other people might do things. In the middle of the video, you hear a cluck. Cold cocked him right in the chin. The guy was a hypnotist. He was a spiritual person. He believed in hypnotizing people, brainwashing them into making them better. Perfectionism. He looked like a demon. He looked like a Street Fighter character. That's what AJ needs. And of course, there's not a million people like Cus D'Amato walking around on the earth. But there's some good teachers. There's some good boxers, man. There's some very good coaches out there, bro. There's no excuse for AJ. There's no excuse. The only excuse is he's getting fucked over. He wants to fit in. He wants to be part of the gang, and they're fucking him over. And if you're going to be part of the gang, well, you got to accept getting fucked over. That's how you become part of the gang. You don't become part of the gang by winning. You become part of the game by losing. Because we're all losers here. We ain't trying to be winners. The winners are out there. If we try to be winners, the actual winners gonna whoop our asses. So we need to work together in order to stay in power and that nobody fucking realizes that we're a bunch of fucking losers. That's what's going on. That's what the gang is. The gang of today anyway. Maybe the gang of the 1800 or 1700 or the 1500 wasn't like that. But the game of today, that's what it is. It's a bunch of fucking undercover brothers. Acting like they're king of the world, acting like they're the best in the world, acting like they're the best spiritualist, the best voodoo practitioner, the best this, the best that, but they all fucking losers. And the real motherfuckers that are the best are sitting there somewhere lost in the fucking universe, not doing shit. And they're sitting there, why nobody like me? Why is it about, what the fuck? The game is rigged. Nobody fucking hates you. Everybody knows what the problem is. Everybody knows who you are. And you can't hide. Don't try to hide either. It doesn't work. We already know who you are. We know who you were when you were born. Because you were born under a star. We do astrology. We know about astrology. We didn't teach ourselves astrology. White people wrote books about astrology. And Jews too. Jews wrote books about astrology, and Americans wrote books about astrology. So we already know your numerology. We know who you're gonna be as soon as you're born. We know on what day, what hour. We know your whole shit. We know every aspect of your life. So no, we're not gonna let you win. Because if I let you win, I'm gonna lose my job. Because I suck compared to you. I don't fucking hate you. I just like this fucking money. Don't take it personal. It's just business. That's what's going on. The day of reckoning. The day of reckoning will come. Why do you think there's gonna be a day of reckoning? Because everybody's fucking beautiful and everybody treat their neighbors as they want to be treated? That's why there's a day of reckoning? Because we're all goddamn fantastic, we're all great, and we're all positive people striving to do better? That's why there's a day of reckoning? And you still want to believe in your God, even though he wants to reckon your perfect life? Shit don't make no sense. Reckoning for what? Everybody's perfect. Everybody's doing whatever they have to do. Why would there be a reckoning? If there's a reckoning, it's because there's a problem. Right? So what's the problem? Everybody sitting there, you know, like y'all, you know, for every artist, for every rap artist you see, there's an actual rap artist that's even better. So we're not even looking at what we're looking at right now on all platforms. We're looking at 50%. You know what 50% is? 50% is 50% of your skills, of your actual skills. Whatever you see on TV, whether it's a magician, a sport athlete, a rapper, singer, music, composer, artist, writer, book writer, philosopher, mystic, you know, whatever, you're looking at 50% of your the actual shit, of the actual thing. You're watching 50%. Whatever you're looking at, it's 50% of what you're actually capable of doing. Everything. Science, everything. You're watching 50%, bro. And that's what most people don't fucking realize. They think they're watching the whole thing. That's the whole shebang. Nah. You're watching 50% of it. Half. Oh, you think that guy's good? You should see the real motherfucker that can do that shit. That motherfucker's 50% of the real guy. 50%. So remember that shit. From right now, 50%. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, 50%. Even if your friend tells you a story about a dude that did some fucking amazing shit, that's 50% too. Everything you hear, 50%. Period. So now I want you to get this into your mind. I want that shit to stay in your mind. Whatever you see, wherever you go, whatever you hear, that's 50 fucking percent. The cars that you see rolling around the street, 50%. The houses you see on the street, 50%. The food that you eat when you go out of the restaurant, 50%. Everything is 50%. 50 cent. Everything is Curtis Jackson. Everything is 50 Cent, bro. 50%. Remind you, keep that shit in your mind. Keep that shit in your mind. Shaolin Temple, 50%. No pun intended. No, sorry. But you see those dudes in the Shaolin Temple that they got knives that's sticking out of their stomach and stuff. You know, and then they spin the guy on the knife, and the knife is in their stomach, and they spin the guy, and the guy is okay. That's 50%. I don't care how amazing you think that is. That's 50%. There's a guy that's even better than that. He's even crazier than that. It's just that media, people, even regular people, it's not just the fucking media. It's not just the fucking media. I'm tired of people just saying, it's media, it's media. No, regular fucking people too. Everyday people are part of this 50% movement. All right? They're all working together in order to make sure that all these people are buried in a mountain of troubles and fucking bills, where it becomes impossible for them, nearly impossible for them to come out. And by the time they come out, they're not going to be 50% good. They're going to be 25% good because they're fucking tired. Because they got worked over. That's not the media. That's that nigga's neighbor. That's that nigga's best friend. Shit, that's nigga's girlfriend. No pun intended. No offense meant. But it's true. The reason why he's at 25% is because everybody around him is part of the 50% movement. And they're keeping him tied down. They're trying to keep him at 25%. So he already had 50. He was supposed to be at 100. And even at 50%, he's still pretty fucking good. But now he lost all that shit. He lost 75%. And now there's only 25% of him left. That's not because of social media, bro. That's not because of the media, bro. That's because of you. You did that. Why is there going to be a reckoning? Where's the reckoning? Where's the reckoning? Why is there going to be a reckoning? Who's going to get a reckoning? You think I'm going to get a reckoning? I'll see you guys later.